Hey, what is up, you guys? It is Ty. Welcome back to the Ty Lobes channel. Welcome to another video. It is Wednesday, and often I really don't have much to upload on Wednesdays because I don't watch that. I don't watch NXT like that anymore. But man, Classic just started up, so I've been reviewing that. I did miss last week's episode. I did catch up. I forgot to do a review on it, so I do apologize. But it was a pretty good week. Casey Catanzaro, Deonna Purrazzo, Dewey, and Mercedes Martinez made it on to the next round. So that's your little update there from round 2. But I decided that I'm like, so 205 Live moving on Wednesdays, Mae Young Classic be on Wednesdays, and NXT be on Wednesdays. Why don't I try something different? Why don't I do what the equivalent of watching Monday Night Raw is and watch all 3 of these shows and review them all at one time? I don't watch Monday Night Raw, so I don't get that 3-hour wrestling experience anymore. So why don't I do 3-hour Wednesdays? So for the first week, and we'll see how this goes. If it goes well, we'll do it again next week, and so on and so forth. We're going to do 3-hour Wednesdays. We're going to watch 205 Live, NXT, and the Mae Young Classic, review them all one shot. So without further ado, let's get started with that 205 Live review. So this was a pretty, I want to say short show. It really was only 2 matches with a long main event, and the main event was top notch. So let me start with the first match. The first match was TJ Perkins versus Lince Dorado. It was a fun match. And Lince Dorado and TJ Perkins, they had good chemistry. I miss seeing TJ Perkins. I remember when I first got introduced in 205 and the Cruiserweight Classic. I remember how much I really liked TJ Perkins, and I was really excited when he won the Cruiserweight Championship. When his reign came around, I felt like it was very lackluster, and he just kind of just lost to Brian Kendrick, and we really didn't see much TJ Perkins after that. I really don't know what his position is on 205 Live. If he's just if he's just a lurker and just lingering around. I know Lince Dorado has this thing going on with Kalisto and Grand Metalik and like the Lucha House Party or whatever the hell they're called. But the match itself was it was fun. I thought they had a lot of good spots in here. There weren't that many like high spots or anything to go off of. But TJ Perkins, the ending made me mark out because it reminded me of this spot from Rey Mysterio versus Chris Jericho from 2009. I don't remember what pay-per-view. I think it was No Mercy 2009. But basically, Lince Dorado was going for a move, and TJ Perkins quickly removed the mask of Lince Dorado and rolled him up, and that instantly made me think back to Chris Jericho versus Rey Mysterio 09. You guys know how much I love Chris Jericho, and I kind of like that match because of that spot. So I was like, oh my god, I was marking out low key. So that spot alone kind of made me rejuvenate my love for TJ Perkins. Well, my likeness for TJ Perkins. I can't say I love the guy because. But let's get on to the main event. Yes, there was only 2 matches once again. Drew Gulak versus Cedric Alexander for the Cruiserweight Championship. This match was really good. When people tell me, oh, 205 Live's been really good lately, they've been having great match after great match after great match, I'm like, you know, 205 Live last time I watched, they have good matches, but their matches don't be like, they don't be that good. Like, they don't be like NXT, fucking New Japan Pro Wrestling level matches, but I'll check it out. This actually was probably one of the better matches I think you could ever find on 205 Live. They went for at least a good 20, maybe even 25 minutes. These guys did, and they were really tearing it up. I mean, Drew Gulak stayed to his bases. He had Cedric on the mat, locking him in submissions, working over the arm, and Cedric Alexander taking it to the skies. You know, he would do his springboard clotheslines and hurricanranas, and he would do his occasional like running Spanish fly, which is always a beauty to see, even though I feel like when you do it every single match, it kind of waters it down a bit. But we got to talk about the one big high spot, and by this time I'm sure it's all over Facebook and all over YouTube. But Drew Gulak goes to suplex Cedric Alexander, and he takes him towards the rope, and I'm like, he's gonna suplex him outside the ring? Won't he flip outside the ring with Cedric Alexander unless he lets go? But that would be like completely unprotected and unsafe. So Drew Gulak basically suplexes Cedric Alexander outside the ring, and what he does is he basically flips himself outside the ring with him, and they both land on their feet, and then they kind of bounce off the apron a little bit, but they both land on their feet, and I'm like, what? And then Cedric Alexander, like seconds later, suplexes him onto the outside of the mat, and I was like, yo, that was fucking awesome. I don't think I've ever seen that spot in wrestling before. Now, I might have seen it once before, but I either don't remember it or it was a very long time ago. You never really see spots like this. One, that was a very, very, very risky spot, and something could have went wrong there. And two, it takes two very talented men to pull that off. And the fact that they were able to execute that move the way they did was just fucking awesome. So if there was no reason for you to watch this match, it would be for this spot alone. No, not really. Rarely you ever say you have to watch a match just for a spot, but this would be that time. And it wasn't just that spot that defined the match, but it was definitely the key point. They did go on for about a good like 10 more minutes. Drew Gulak locked in his Gulak, I think that's what it's called, a few times onto Cedric Alexander, and he got out of it a few times. One time he got out of it. He got him into like a fireman's carry position and ran him into the ring post, and that was pretty cool. But the match end came when Cedric got out of the Gulak. He hit Drew Gulak with that elbow to the face, and then hit the lumbar check onto Drew Gulak for the pin, retaining the Cruiserweight Championship. I think Buddy Murphy got interviewed after the match. It was all a blur. I don't remember what he said, but they're basically building up Drew Gulak versus Buddy Murphy at Super Showdown, the pre-show, I assume. Now, Buddy Murphy is from Australia, and they're going to be in Australia, so I would like to hope that they won't be on the pre-show because Buddy Murphy is from Australia, but knowing 205 Live, they're going to be on the pre-show. So I kind of look forward to their pre-show match. They've had matches in the past that have been really good. Buddy Murphy just been a great revelation since his repackaging from NXT. So, yeah, going to be a good match to look forward to. And yeah, that was 205 Live. Good show. Alright guys, so now we're getting into our NXT review. I just got finished watching NXT, and the show was a good show. The main event fucking stole it. The main event was fucking amazing, but I'll get to that when we get to it. So the first match we had was Dakota Kai and Deonna Purrazzo versus Lacey Evans and Aaliyah. I will say, first off, it is nice seeing Aaliyah on television. Aaliyah has been down in NXT for a while. Like, she's been down there, I don't want to say she's been down there as long as people like Asuka's been down. She's been down there for a while, and it seems like whenever they try to get her doing something, like try to push her, they stop because someone else came in. So I feel like she's always been that girl that's been pushed to the side, and they could run with that as a character. It's like she's been pushed to the side too many times, like Cassius Ohno's doing. She could be like the female Cassius Ohno, except she's not well established. But she didn't really do too much in this match. I mean, like, when in this tag team match, I feel like it was mostly Lacey and well, here's the thing. Lacey and Aaliyah were really the beneficiaries of this match. They had Deonna Purrazzo in the corner the whole time, doing a tag in, tag out, you know, tag in the corner thing. That was mainly the whole match. And Aaliyah got in some offense, but it wasn't like anything noteworthy. I can't remember a single move that she did. So it's not like she's been, I can't say like she has been improving, but it's not like she's learned anything like, you know, substantial over time. So I guess I can kind of see why they haven't had her on television lately. But Lacey Evans, she's improving a lot, and I'm starting to really like seeing her on television. Deonna Purrazzo, man, when I saw her in the Mae Young Classic, she impressed me a lot. It was kind of sad that we didn't get to see a lot of her in this match. She was attacked most of the match, and then when she finally got the hat tag on Dakota Kai went to roll up Aaliyah, and then Lacey Evans kind of tagged in Aaliyah when her back was turned, hit her with a woman's right, and that was kind of the end of the match. Match ended in like 6-7 minutes, so that was kind of it. The match kind of just happened. Then the next match was really just a squash match between some guy named Herberto Carrillo. I never heard of this guy, so we knew he was just a jobber. Versus the debut of Jackson Riker of the Lost Sons. NXT's really starting to become handy for their upbringing with factions. They're known for so many factions, and now we have the Lost Sons, which I'm a bit skeptical of because it seems like it has a lot of undertones of sanity. But I guess you got to give it time to, you know, As he rides and see what he becomes. Jackson Riker. I was looking at this guy and I'm like, he looks kind of familiar. Like, where do I know him from? I was looking at him the whole time. I'm like, I know this guy from somewhere. So I looked up his name and it said, I'm like, oh, it's Gunner from TNA. Like way back in the day, like I said, I used to watch Impact Wrestling and I remember it was Gunner. So it was nice seeing him because I haven't seen this guy in years. So it was a squash match. I didn't get to see a lot of what he was made of. He did a lot of power moves, of course, as you can see a lot of powerhouses do. You know, throwing his opponent around with the bail throws and the clubbing blows and all that kind of stuff. It was nothing impressive. It was your paint by numbers powerhouse squash match. He got the win over Humberto, and that was it. Then we get to the main event. Pete Dunne and Ricochet. This match blew the fucking roof off the place. You have to go and watch this match. You guys, if I had to recommend a match so far, you must watch this match. This match fucking killed it. I wish I could tell you guys all the spots that happened. I might show you some spots, some highlights in this video, but there were way too many to actually call. Pete Dunne was just doing his thing with the finger pulling and the hard elbows, and Ricochet flying all over the place. He did a Hurricane at one point, doing all the kip ups and all. I can't tell you how many crazy spots these guys did in the match. It was just insane. And as soon as I heard that both titles were on the line, I instantly knew this is not going to have a decisive winner. There's no way they're going to give Pete Dunne the NXT North American Championship. And I highly doubt they're ready to put an American as the NXT UK champion. So I'm like, yeah, that's not going to happen. Neither man is losing the title. It's going to be a double DQ, double count out. And what do you know? About 15 minutes in, Undisputed Era comes out, attacks both men, and crowd's booing. War Raiders comes out, they chased them off, and they kind of stared out at each other at the end of the show, teasing maybe we'll get a second match. But let me just say, this was an NXT TakeOver worthy match. If it had a clean, decisive finish, this would be a TakeOver worthy match. This had to be probably one of the best TV matches I've seen on NXT in a long time. And part of the reasons why I probably need to start watching NXT again is for matches like this. So yeah, definitely worth your time. Go watch it. NXT. Good show. If it were not for the main event, I don't even know. It probably would just be a skippable show, but good show. So let's get into the Mae Young Classic. Alright guys, so now I just got finished watching the Mae Young Classic, and this episode was it was a good episode. It wasn't like anything special or anything, but definitely enjoyed it, I would say. So the first match we had was the returning Caitlyn going up against Kavita Devi. Now, fun fact, I basically said this last year. I think they're just now bringing this up, but Kavita Devi is part of one of the most viewed videos on WWE's YouTube channel. It's Kavita Devi versus Dakota Kai from round 1 last year. That video has like 28-30 million views or something. I caught on to that last year and I made a video on it. I don't think anyone really knows about it, but your boy already knew. Anyway, that match was very I mean, Caitlyn, she looked rusty. I'm not gonna sit here and sugarcoat it. Caitlyn looked a little rusty. She did her moves. She just, part of her being rusty and Kavita Devi not being all that experienced. Like last year, Kavita Devi, she did some good power moves, but other than that, Kavita Devi was not good at all in the ring. And she improved a little bit, but she didn't really do that much. It was mostly all Caitlyn, so we really couldn't showcase how much she was capable of, even though I believe that she didn't do a lot because she wasn't capable of that much to begin with. But there was really not too much to say about this match. Caitlyn finished it off with the spear that she usually did as her old finisher for the pin. Another thing, Caitlyn did not use her WWE, or her original WWE theme. Well, her last WWE theme, which I thought was kind of weird. They should have used that, but it's not like they don't have copyright to it, but whatever. So Caitlyn advances to the next round. Then we get to the match I was most excited for, Toni Storm versus Jenny. We all remember Toni Storm from last year. I've seen Jenny at a Progress Wrestling show before, and I was very impressed by her. So I was very much looking forward to this match. This match didn't disappoint. However, I thought it could have been a little bit better. I thought they could have went a little bit longer. And they could have been a main event, honestly. They did have some... Jenny was hard-hitting in this match. Jenny, let me just say, Jenny sold like it was death in this match. Like, she the thing about Jenny is that compared to a lot of these other women's wrestlers, not to say that they're like big or anything, but Jenny's kind of skinny. Like Jenny, skinny Jenny. And I'm not trying to body shame her or anything, but like she's a skinny girl. Like she's slim, and when she moves, like when she does her like elbows or whatnot, unless she does it really hard, unless she's doing anything, she has to elbow you in the face. She has to kick. She has to do all types of things in order to like really sell the fact that she's actually hurting you. And when she sells moves, she does like zero episodic sometimes. Like Toni Storm did this German suplex onto her. She flipped all the way around, landed on her back and neck. It looked like it. Man, you gotta look out for that girl if you don't have her eye on her. Toni Storm, she did her thing, of course, in this match, and these women had a really good match. Toni Storm won the match with the Tiger Bomb, and yeah, Toni Storm's making it on to the next round. We didn't get on to the next match. Xia Li versus Karen Q. Last year, Xia Li was at a Mae Young Classic, and everyone was sleeping on her. And I instantly thought this woman could be something with a little bit more training. She had the kick, she had everything down except for her gimmick, and she was green. And this time around, you could tell she's a little bit more experienced. She knew what to do. Karen Q. Let me just say, these women started off the ring. They did the whole namaste thing, and then they did the whole pose. I'm like, yo, and the crowd got hyped for a second. I thought round one, fight, like Mortal Kombat. Like it was a really cool to watch, and they were duking out with kicks and flips and all kind of stuff. It seemed like they were trying to do like they're incorporating some martial arts into the match, which is really cool. And though it wasn't like the best wrestling match on the show, it was really good. It was actually really cool. Xia Li won the match with the corkscrew axe kick, and she's advancing. And hopefully they sign both women. I don't know if they signed Xia Li or not. I don't think they did. They signed her last year, but hopefully they could get her down to a contract this year. And in the main event, we had the frenemies going up against each other. Allison Kay, otherwise known as Sienna Rollins in Impact Wrestling. I don't know if she's still there or not. So Allison Kay versus Mia Yim. They had a pretty decent match. I felt like they bowed out. There was this one spot where Mia Yim went to chop Allison Kay, who was on the outside on the turnbuckle on the ring post. She was a chopper, and Allison ducked, and she chopped the shit out of the turnbuckle. You heard the clink on the hand on the turnbuckle, and she was grabbing her hand, and I'm like, oh shit, that sounded very painful. I could not have done it. Allison Kay, I think, had a lot more of the offense in this match. Mia Yim was on the defense. There was nothing really impressive that happened in this match, but they did have some pretty good chemistry that I can vouch for. Mia Yim finished off the match with what she calls soul food, otherwise known as Lost in the Woods, or Eat the Feet of Gail Kim. From the top, she basically did it off the top rope where she had her foot on Allison's neck, and she leaped off the top rope and basically fell, so that way it was like an elevator from the top rope. It was really cool how it looked. And she got the pin over Allison Kay. She's advancing on to face Caitlyn in the next round. That should be an interesting match. I think Mia Yim's going to win. But yeah, that was the Mae Young Classic. That was actually, I'd say, it was an okay show. Nothing that you have to actually go back and watch unless you want to check out the Mia Yim. Unless you want to check out maybe the Karen Q Xia Li match, which was pretty cool. I mean, it wasn't like a good match, but it was very interesting to see that kind of martial arts incorporated into wrestling style. So that I would say maybe check out. Other than that, of all the three shows, I would say that NXT was the best one, mainly because of the main event. NXT had the main event was the best. 205 Live, the main event was the best. And with Mae Young Classic, I would say the co-main event was probably the best. All around, pretty good 3 hours. I enjoyed it. And yeah, thank you guys for watching this video. Tell me what you guys think about my reviews of 3 shows. Do you guys like this review format where I kind of just go through the matches and not kind of go like, you know, pound for pound, move for move? Do you like the fact that I'm reviewing all 3 shows at once? Or do you want different reviews for it? Do you guys want to see more of these? I don't know. Let me know in the comments down below. Love you guys always, and I'll talk to you all later. Peace out.